coach of the women's soccer team.
Our Father in heaven, we bow before thee this evening, grateful for the opportunity to be together for this basketball game. We are grateful for the talents of each team. We pray that thou will watch over them, be able to play with good sportsmanship, with good health, and pray for the safe travel of Washington and Lee as they travel here and back. We are grateful at this time of year for the gift of thy Son, grateful for his influence in our lives, and pray that we can share that with others. And these things we ask in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Now, if you will all please rise and face the flag as the Southern Virginia Pep Band plays our nation's national anthem. Thank you. And now for your starting lineups. Starting for the Generals. At guard, freshman number 10, Elka Preckle. At guard, junior number 20, Hannah Malik. At forward, junior number 23, Grace O'Connor. At forward, senior number 33, Catherine Vandenberg. And at forward, freshman number 50, Mary Schleisner. The Generals are coached by Christine Clancy, Aaron Hughes,
coming off a win. Two teams having one standout player from each game. Should be a fascinating one to watch.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and if we look at the records, they're staying pretty neck and neck. You know, the Generals are 5-2, and the SVU Knights are 4-3. So it should be a good game overall.
Both teams having a fantastic season. Washington and Lee standing on top of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference standings, but two players that both teams are looking out for right now. For Southern Virginia, as the Knights are announcing their starting five, Southern Virginia's Addison Newman against Meredith College last week had the game of her career. She scored 26 points and shot 6 for 7 from beyond the arc, an unheard of percentage. In fact, she was 6 for 6 from behind the three-point line until late in the fourth quarter. So shooting perfect throughout the entire game. And then you have Mary Schleisner for Washington and Lee, who leads the Generals in scoring with over 14 points a game, almost averages a double-double with 9 rebounds per game. So it should be a very interesting matchup, to say the least. I'm looking forward to seeing who Southern Virginia has guarding Schleisner throughout the night down the post.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we were talking about the three-point percentage with Miss Newman, and you know that's going to be a big part of the game, okay? Because the Generals really don't shoot that much from beyond the arc. You know, they're shooting a total at 21% anyway. Just like even with that low percentage shot, they just don't take those shots. Anyway, they play a good post game. And that's really where most of their offense is going to be coming from, I think.
Absolutely. So what I imagine will probably happen is that the Southern Virginia Knights will rotate in a bunch of post players, try to keep defenders fresh. I'd imagine we'll see a lot of Olsen, a lot of McRolla, a lot of Schmalbeck, and maybe a little bit of Ruth Kempler as well, rotating in defensively to try to keep defenders nice and ready to go against Schleisner, who, again, is just having a fantastic year as a freshman. Number 50 standing at 6'2" from Charlotte, North Carolina. And fascinating thing about these two teams, these two universities, for those watching at home and don't know the geography of the area we are, these two schools are just 15 minutes away from each other. So these two teams are very familiar with one another, at least the programs are. As the game tips off, Generals have it to start off.
You know, I think it'll be interesting to see how the crowd reacts too as well, because, you know, it's like you said, they're rivals. It's a big game.
It absolutely is, as Camden gets the steal as the Knights are denying Schleissner in the paint. Newman dribbles it up the court. Here's Olsen for three. That's good for Olsen.
Starting the game off strong, early three-pointers, I like it.
Her sister Alyssa is more known for three-point shots, but Courtney Olsen will take that shot. Here's a three from the outside. That one good from Elka Prekel. Here's O'Bray trying to get inside to Camden. She's going to travel. We did talk about the percentage of three-pointers from Washington Lee. Again, like you said, Rock, in the low 20s. They've shot an okay amount, but again, it hasn't really gone down for them. So that one going down is a good sign for the Generals.
Yeah, man, that's a rare shot according to the statistics. So that's cool to see that in the beginning of the game. It's very interesting. This might be a very different game for the Generals.
The Knights playing great on-ball defense. Schleissner up, no good. Rebounded by Schleissner, kicks it back out. Here's a deep three, and that banks it in good for Prekel.
Wow, 2 for 2, beyond the arc.
Prekel comes into this game with a 28% three-point percentage. Here's Newman working with it. And it's taken away. That time by number 23, Grace O'Connor. Goes on the left, no good. And she's fouling the shot, she'll shoot two.
Foul called on number 41, Courtney.
Now, right before tip-off, we talked about Addison Newman in the game she had against Meredith College. Again, 26 points, she had 9 rebounds and 3 steals, and just didn't seem like she could miss from the floor. And one thing that tends to happen with shooters is that they'll have one game where they make everything, and then right afterwards they'll have a game where it's very hard to make any kind of shot, even a layup. So I'm curious to see how Addison responds after that fantastic game she had.
Yeah, you know, it could absolutely be seen like that, because that does happen pretty often where they come off a good game and have a, you know, not so great game, or they just keep the momentum going and they have a good set of games, like 3 or 4 games in a row where they're scoring like that. So I guess we'll see kind of what happens, what kind of game she has.
And so it looks like there was a free throw lane violation. That free throw is good from O'Connor. The Generals have the lead 7-3. Newman advances up the court, up the right hand and in. Well, we know the layups won't be a problem for Newman today. Here's a three once again for the Generals, no good. Rebounded by Schleissner, up with the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Olsen.
And the Generals are very confident from beyond the arc today. And honestly, I got to say it's working out for them so far. But it's just, you know, that's not what we were expecting.
Up the right hand, Savoon rebounded by Olsen, puts it back up, no good. That one rebounded by Berntsen. Knocked away by O'Bray. Here's Olsen with it, advances up the court to Camden. Wisely kicks back out to O'Bray, but she's gonna travel. Got a substitution for Washington Lee, number 5, Sarah Zimmerman, the freshman from Cincinnati, Ohio.
You know, I think that's the Knights' 3rd turnover, and you know, if you keep making easy turnovers like that, it's going to be a big part of the game. You know, that's 3 points for the other team if they can keep making shots like we've seen them do this far. So,
especially against a good quality team like Washington and Lee, if you make mistakes, they'll make you pay for it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And just like that, a turnover committed by Washington and Lee. I believe the same call, a travel. Here's Newman. Kick out Savoon for 3. Off the left side, no good. O'Bray runs it down. Olsen gets Savoon. Open 3, she'll take it. Off the right side, no good. Rebound by Camden. Up and in for Camden. so far we're seeing a lot of great hustle plays from Southern Virginia, something that was severely lacking in their game against Meredith College. I mean, they won that game by 20+ points because Southern Virginia just has such great players in their roster. But this time, they know against a team like Washington Lee, you have to put a body on somebody. You have to run out the rebounds and make those plays.
Got to play aggressive.
And that foul was on J.D. O'Bray. And that sends Zimmerman to the free throw line. And the free throw's good.
Number 25, Allie McCrolla.
Coming in for J.D. O'Bray is Alyssa McRolla. Olsen dribbling in, tries to kick it back out to Camden. That's going to be an over and back. Another turnover for Southern Virginia.
Court violation. Possession goes to the Generals.
Like I said, man, it's just those little turnovers that'll bite you in the end. You know, you got to take it back to the fundamentals, just passing, shooting, dribbling. Once you get those down to a T perfectly, you know, everything is going to go pretty smooth from there.
The main thing about this is that when you're playing against a team like Washington Lee, they have the talent to beat you. You can't also be beating yourself in the process. Dribbling baseline, up and in. That is Tari Phillips, the senior from Wrightsville, Pennsylvania. Newman in the corner. Olsen goes with the right hand, a little too strong. Olsen's on the floor after some contact with McGinnis. Wide open jumper, that's up and in for Zimmerman. Timeout called by head coach Lynette Schroeder for Southern Virginia as the Knights find themselves down by 7 in the early minutes of this one. Again, Rock, you've pointed it out time and time again. So far, it's been the Knights that have beat themselves. It's been the travels, it's been the turnovers, it's been just silly little things that you have to clean up in order to stay in a game with a team like the Generals.
Yeah, you know, each possession counts. You know, if you're just giving those up for free, that's going to make a big dent in your score. It's going to make a big dent in their score. You know, and that lead that they have is going to keep growing unless they do something about it. They have to be able to maintain the ball. They have to be able to rebound and score. You know, that's what, you know, it's like you said, they're beating themselves right now. And we can't have that, you know, you can't have that as a team.
You absolutely cannot. And right now, leading the way in scoring for the Generals is Elka Preckle with 6 points so far, followed closely by Zimmerman with 5. Those are two main contributors so far, with also a bucket from Phillips. And on Southern Virginia's side so far, leading the way is Courtney Olsen with 3 points, Addison Newman with 2, and Emma Camden with 2. We got some substitutions for Southern Virginia, including number 11, Abigail Snyder, and number 13, Eve Schmalbeck, looking to add some scoring ability to this Knights team. McRolla tries putting on the floor, and she'll be fouled on the way up. She'll go to the free throw line.
Foul called, number 5.
That is number 5, Sarah Zimmerman, the freshman from Cincinnati, Ohio, guilty of the foul.
Allie McCrolla to the line for the Knights, shooting 2.
First free throw, up and off the back of the rim. We pointed out a couple times this year that free throws tend to be a problem for the Knights, especially early on, as that second free throw goes in from McRolla.
They're shooting about 61% from the free throw line. And, you know, you can see it in their game sometimes. You know, a lot of their points don't come from free throws. They come from beyond the arc and, you know, short range.
Great ball handling. That one rebounded by Newman. But a fantastic move from Phillips. And taken away by Zimmerman. Phillips blocked by Camden on the three. Way to be there defensively. Here's a three from Schleissner. That is out of bounds on the Generals. According to the statistics that we have, that is the first three-point attempt from Schleissner all season. I mean, I guess when you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
Absolutely.
What a pass from Schmalbeck to Snyder. Goes to the right hand, no good.
I think she was hoping to draw the foul there. Just didn't get it.
I mean, she did have two defenders coming her way, so it's very easy to believe that that's a possibility. That one knocked out of bounds by Camden. But that block from Camden last possession, my goodness, Phillips seemed like she was on a roll. She had made a couple buckets, and Camden comes in there, ends that dream right away.
Some great effort we're seeing out here on the court.
Snyder defending. Knocked away by Snyder and taken away by McGrola. Advance to Camden. Camden for three. Off, no good. It's going to be out of bounds on Southern Virginia. Last to touch it was McGrola. Got a substitution for Southern Virginia in number 30, Ruth Kempler. Nice spin with the right hand, up and in for O'Connor.
Now, we were talking about their post game before the game, and you know, we're seeing it start to come to life after a few missed three-pointers, and it's a good game. Absolutely it is.
Jumper from Newman, that one up, no good, rebounded by Schleissner. They're gonna call a foul on the Knights on Snyder. And you know, watching the Generals warm up before the game, you can see that a lot of these post players, they understand how to get open shots. They understand how to get a defender off them and get those high quality, high percentage shots under the basket. And you saw exactly that from O'Connor.
Yeah, you know, it's like we were saying earlier about Schleissner, how she took her first three of the entire season. There's a reason for that. You know, she's so good in the post.
That's been an offensive foul on O'Connor. Getting in her way was Addison Newman. Southern Virginia had some substitutions, including Barrett Jessup. Here's Schmalbeck with it. Snyder dribbling in, kicks it out to Newman. Jumper from Newman. Off the left side, no good. Foul on the floor from number 10, Elka Preckle. I believe she knocked down Kempler, trying to get the rebound. So it stays with Southern Virginia. Shot clock winding down. Ruth Kempler has to go up with it. And she does. And they're going to say that she traveled, switching her pivot foot on the shot. Ever since the first couple minutes, the scoring has kind of been at a standstill. Both defenses have really been locked in. Here's a three. Of course, the commentator curse, and that happens. That three made by number 20, Hannah Malik. You know, a lot of times people try to say that the commentator curse doesn't exist, but I say to them, you've never been a commentator then.
I'd have to agree with you there.
Schleissner advancing it down the floor. Taken away by Kempler. Templar called for another travel. And coming in for will be Courtney Olson.
Number 10, Emma Camden. And number 41, Courtney Olson.
And also checking in is Emma Camden. And a substitution for the Generals as well at number 5, Sarah Zimmerman.
Sarah Zimmerman.
Zimmerman, one of the leaders in scoring for the Generals so far with 5 points. Great move, drive to the basket for O'Connor.
That was a great read on her part.
The hesitation to get the defender to leave her and drive to the open lane. Seconds in the shot clock. Snyder for 3. That's good. Snyder is one of those players who's just a natural scorer, and she shows it right there with that shot. That ball knocked out of bounds by, I believe, Barrett Jessup. Stays in the Generals.
Yeah, you know, that was a tough shot. It didn't look like she was super balanced when she took that three-pointer, and she did have some defense on her, but it was a great shot, and she knocked it down. You know, it's like you said, that offensive ability. I apologize for.
Oh, you're absolutely fine. Number 32, Olivia Berntsen, checks in for the Generals. Immediately gets the ball up and in. But you make a good point about that shot being a difficult shot. It kind of shows just how tough this Generals perimeter defense has been so far, making it tough for any night to get a three-point shot off at all. There's a foul on the floor before the pass. That is Preckle, the guilty party. Got some more substitutions for the Generals, including number 40, Sophia Fiegelson, and number 34, Tari Phillips. Inbounded to Olson. No shot clock. Olson trying to get a shot off, and she won't. Time winds down. That shot wouldn't have counted anyway, and that ends the first quarter. The Generals in command right now, 23-11 over the Knights of Southern Virginia. And again, there's two things they have to give credit to in order to really explain how the Generals have gotten this lead. They made some great moves at the post. And I guess three things actually. Great moves in the post. They've been able to make shots from the outside when characteristically they haven't all season. And they've also not made the small mistakes that Southern Virginia has.
Yeah, you know, I think both teams are playing great defense, and you know, Washington and Lee is just knocking down shots. They came ready to play offensively, and you know, it's really showing up on the board.
It really has, and you want to talk about the small mistakes. Right now, Southern Virginia is losing the turnover battle. They have 7 turnovers compared to Washington and Lee's 4, and I believe 4 of those turnovers have come from travels. So losing track of where your pivot foot is, or trying to get up sort of desperate shots and moving your feet in the process. And so this pressure that Washington and Lee has applied on Southern Virginia defensively has really made a big impact so far.
Absolutely, I agree with you completely.
And with that, real quick, I want to thank our athletic partner, Straws Drinks and Eats here in Buena Vista, Virginia. I go there every so often. You know, they make a great product, great sodas, great cookies as well. So if you have a little sweet tooth and you're in the Buena Vista area, go and check it out. Thank you so much, Straws Drinks and Eats. So start of the second quarter, the Knights need a big surge offensively here. Olson's pass deflected by Zimmerman. That's another thing Washington Lee's done a very good job at, is making sure that Olson can't easily pass from inside the paint. They're going to say that Berntsen was out of bounds as she's trying to make her way down the baseline. Here's Sutherland with it. Newman tries to go with the right hand, knocked down, able to recover it. Olsen with the left hand, no good, gets her own rebound, up with the right hand and in. Great second effort from the senior.
Now, rebounds matter. They matter just as much as those turnovers.
Especially in order to give yourself second chances to make sure that if you're not in a rhythm, you can get some other high quality shots off. They call over the back on Zimmerman.
Offensive foul called on number 5, Sarah Zimmerman. Her second of the game. Possession goes to the Knights.
So Knights now down by 10. Olsen picked up her dribble. Olsen gets to O'Bray, who tries to kick it out to Camden. Shot clock winding down. Savoon for a deep three, off the backboard, no good. Brought down by Zimmerman. Savoon very fortunate there was no foul call there. She's trying to reach for the ball. Here's a three from the outside, no good. Knocked out of bounds by Newman.
Possession stays.
So they'll stay with the Generals. Checking in for the Knights is number 2, Presley Hagee. Got 3 substitutions for the Generals, including number 20, Hannah Malik, number 23, Grace O'Connor, and number 50, Mary Schleissner.
And number 24, Lauren Acker.
I mean, so far we talked so much about Schleissner coming into this game. Again, her previous game scoring 28 points and having 10 rebounds. But the Knights have really done a great job of keying on her and making sure her offensive input has been limited as she misses that shot.
Yeah, they definitely set up their defense to take away the post game. I think that's why we're seeing so many threes come from the Generals today. Not that they haven't been successful, because they have.
Newman's three, no good.
Uncharacteristic of her.
Schleissner with the right hand, tough shot on the run, able to knock it down. Olsen goes with the right hand, knocked away by Schleissner, but they're going to call a shooting foul. That is her second foul of the game.
50, Mary Schleissner, her first of the game.
So that'll send Olsen to the line.
Courtney Olsen to the line, shooting 2.
First free throw is up and good. Second free throw is up. Rattles out, rebounded by Schleissner. With left hand up and in, difficult shot from Malik. Olsen with a spin, gets it up to Hagee. Hagee with the reverse layup and in.
That was a great assist as well.
Great court vision from the senior, and Hagee able to knock down the difficult layup. Knocked away by Olsen, but they're going to call a foul on her. I believe they're calling it because she swatted her hand down. Actually, they're going to say it was on Savoon.
Number 0, Marietta Salmon, her first.
And in for her will be Alyssa
Hannah Malik to
McRolla.
the line, shooting 2 for the Generals.
And one thing I've noticed so far in this first quarter and a half is that Newman has been very hesitant to shoot from anywhere. She's shot a couple shots so far, but much more hesitant than we've seen her in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. You know, I think there's a lot of pressure on her after the game she had, you know, last week as well, and that might be why she's holding back a little bit.
That second free throw was good. So the Generals have a 12-point lead. Olsen wanted the three. Hand off to Camden. Shot clock winding down. Also dribbling in. Up with the right hand, up and in. Beautiful dribble drive from Olsen. Brings it back within 10. Up with the right hand, what a difficult shot.
That was a very impressive shot.
Schroeder wanting the call because she used her arms to kind of wrap around her defender to spin her way around. Heggie, no good from 3. Olsen gets the rebound. That's knocked away by number 14, McGinnis. O'Connor up with the left hand and in.
Now that can be so frustrating as a team when you know, because the Knights are playing great defense, but everything for the Generals is just going in. You're just hitting their shots.
Here's McRolla for 3, up, no good. And on the flip side for Southern Virginia, it feels like a lot of their onside shots just aren't connecting right now. Here goes McRolla. Up right hand, no good. As out of bounds off the hands of O'Connor.
Checking in for the Generals, number 33, Captain Catherine Vandenberg.
Got a couple substitutions, including number 33, Captain Vandenberg, number 22, Anna Dorda, and number 40, Sophia Fiegelson. And then Eve Schmalmick checks in for the Knights. And right now, I mean, talking about not being able to make stuff, Southern Virginia's shooting percentage right now from the field is 28%. It's rough shooting out there right now, whereas Washington and Lee, they're at 50%.
Definitely a big difference.
Now the Knights are only shooting 22% from the three-point line compared to Washington and Lee's 37.5. McRolla up the right hand with the foul.
Foul called on number 32, Olivia Bernstein.
That was called on Bernstein. So immediate timeout here at the barn as the score stands 32-20 in favor of the Generals of Washington and Lee University. And while we have a short break, I want to remind you, you're watching this on the Knights Broadcasting Network here on YouTube. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, leave us a comment, let us know how we're doing, and be sure to hit the notification bell that you get notified every single time we go live with a Southern Virginia athletic event. We appreciate your support. Now, again, considering the statistics right now, the Knights not shooting well, the Generals shooting pretty decently, I'd say, from the field. It's one of those games where it feels like everything's going against you. But with that being said, the Knights are only down by 12. That is not an insurmountable amount of points to overcome.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty sizable lead, but it's not a very strong cushion, absolutely. You know, any team can come back from 12 points, and they can do it quickly if, you know, they really put their mind to it. And I believe the SVU Knights can, especially with their offense, and like we've seen in the past, they can just explode at any time.
And all it takes is just 2 or 3 shots to get right back into a game that feels like the other team controls, you know, because basketball, like every other sport, momentum plays a huge part. If you build just a little bit of momentum, get something to go right for you, then you can start to build upon that and keep working with that, and then everything else just kind of falls into place. And that could all start right here with this free throw from McRolla.
Yeah, you hear it all the time. Sports are 10% physical, 90% mental, and it's absolutely true. You know?
Absolutely, as that free throw from McRolla goes in. Here's O'Connor. Knocked out. Knocked out once again. The Knights have it. Knights need to capitalize off this turnover. Schmalbeck gets it into McRolla. Taken away by O'Connor. Advanced up the floor to Vandiver. They're calling offensive foul on Vandiver. That's 2 straight turnovers forced by Southern Virginia.
Charge call, number 32, Olivia Bernstein.
And checking in for the Knights
Checking in for the Knights.
is Courtney Olsen in place of Eve Schmalbeck.
They came back from that timeout really wanting to play some hard defense, and you know, you're seeing it come to life.
You know, one of those things where if you're not shooting well as a team, the thing that can keep you in a game is just really strapping down on defense and then finding just the high percentage shots. Here's McGrola for three. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Vandiver. Yes, at this point you have to just ride your defense. That goes out of bounds for the third straight turnover from the Generals. Olsen brings it down the floor. Olsen tries to feed it underneath to Heggie. Turnover for Southern Virginia. Got some substitutions for Washington, including number 20, Hannah Malik, and number 50, Mary Schleissner. Generals still up by 11. Olsen doing a great job of getting in that passing lane. Abigail Snyder will be checking in for Presley Heggie. Nice, doing a great job of inbound defense. Stripped away by Olsen, but he'll still be off of the Knights and stay with the Generals.
That was a great read. It can be so hard to guard someone, especially when they're bigger than you, when they start driving in like that. That's a great play by the defense.
And Burnson a little shaken up after that play. Taken away by Olsen. Was right in the passing lane. Snyder for three. No good. The shooting woes for the Knights continue as Newman tries to jump in there and take the ball away. Got some more substitutions for Washington Lee, including number 12, Kat Pettigrew, number 14, Quinn McGinnis.
You know, it's hard to look at an 11-point deficit and not rush your shot, and I think that's kind of what's going on. Is they're hurrying a little too much, and it's affecting, you know, their accuracy and how well they do from the three-point line, especially.
A basketball player's natural tendency is to want to make up as much ground as humanly possible, as fast as possible. And so when you get to that mindset, it makes it very difficult to get any sort of quality shot or any sort of quality basketball played. And that's where a lot of the mind game comes. And you have to breathe, let yourself know, like, hey, let's work our way slowly, let's build this up, and play within the offense, not try to force anything. I'm gonna call the foul on Newman on the inbound pass.
Foul call for number 4.
That's her first.
Her first.
The Knights now in a zone. Up with the right hand, no good. Offensive foul. Call on Hannah Malik.
Foul call on number 20, Hannah Malik.
That is her first foul.
When we're talking about locking down on defense, this is exactly what we mean. You know, forcing the offense to make turnovers and fouls, you know, and just making other type of errant passes and shots.
Also kicks it out to McGrola. Cross court's Camden for three. That one rattles out. Camden gets her own rebound. Up the right hand and in. That is what it looks like when you don't give up on a play.
It's not over till it's over.
And that brings it within single digits. Knocked away by Camden. That's the second block of the game for her. that is taken away by Fiegelson. Great idea from Olsen. Layup is good. It's it back to an 11-point game. Stripped away that time, but it'll be a jump ball. But regardless, it goes back to the Generals. Again, I like the idea of what Olsen was trying to do. She was trying to get into the paint, try to kick it back out to an open shooter, because the shooter was wide open. I believe it was McRolla on the outside that was wide open for the shot. But these Generals defenders.
Oh, she just got a hand on it. That's all it takes.
Their hands defensively have been so effective at getting in passing lanes and stripping the ball away. Now the travel. It goes back to Southern Virginia. Newman dribbles in, and that's blocked. And finally picked up by Malik. The pass to O'Connor, up and in. That's how you run a fast break.
2-on-1.
It's exactly like you draw it up in practice. Here's McRolla for three. That's short, no good. Rebounded by Schleissner. Schleissner nearly traveled. Out left hand, no good. Finally brought down by O'Connor. O'Connor off with the right hand and in for the finish.
O'Connor. Great shot.
It absolutely was. I mean, the spin on that was perfect with the contact. Brings her point total up to 11. The first player on either team to get into double digits in scoring.
Washington and Lee is pushing a little bit harder towards the end of this quarter.
Free throw is good for O'Connor. And honestly, watching O'Connor play so far tonight, it's been very graceful layups. They're very much able to make tough shots look easy.
Very skilled player, absolutely.
Also pump fakes up the right hand, no good. Brings down her own rebound, up with the right hand, no good. That one rebounded by Pettigrove.
I think she was expecting contact that first layup, and you know, when you don't get that contact like you're expecting, it changes everything.
Here's O'Connor. Up with the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Olsen. She will barely get the shot up, but it'll be no good as we go into the half of the score, 39-23. As scrappy the game as it can possibly be. I mean, again, right now the Generals have a 16-point lead, but neither team really able to play the sort of long-range shooting basketball a lot of us fans have come to love from modern basketball. You'd say it's more like old school, back in the day. Rebounds and turnovers are the key factors to look for. It's fun to watch as a basketball fan.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, they're definitely playing a big post game in this one. You know, I'm surprised to see that the Knights haven't been knocking down those three-pointers like they have in the past. You know, it's really making this game quite interesting, I think.
It absolutely has. And so with that, once again, the score stands 39-23. We will take a short break before the start of halftime here at the barn of Southern Virginia University. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the floor your SVU dance team. Tonight, they will be performing their hip-hop routine, The Saints, choreographed by Captain Mackenzie Wood.
$5 gift card to Straws, Drinks, and Eats right now. Right now, the contest is musical chairs. And as of right now, I need 4 more contestants to come down onto the court. Come on down if you guys want to play musical chairs and a chance to win a $5 gift card. Everyone on down. Everyone. And we have our contestants over here to the side as well. If you guys will meet us on the free throw line, that would be great. Go ahead and line up on the free throw line. Chair. That is the #1 rule. No driving the chair. All right, are you guys ready? Everyone knows how to play musical chairs? We're going to go clockwise. All right, nine fans, make some noise for your contestants. Here we go. Here we go.
Like a rubber chick.
All right, well, good try. Maybe next year. Here we go. Final two contestants. What are your guys' names? Jacob. All right, make some noise for Lakin and Jacob. Here we go. Final round.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one.
Jacob is our winner. Thank you so much for. Thanks, Strasburg, for being a top sponsor of Mad Athletics. Thank you guys for competing.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back onto the court your Southern Virginia University women's basketball team.
back for the start of the second half action for the Generals of Washington and Lee and your Southern Virginia University Knights. I'm Dawson Weeder, joined by Christian Clement. Christian Clement's first time here on the Knights Broadcasting Network. Christian, it's great to have you here with us.
Thanks for having me, and it's a pleasure to be able to join you today.
It's great to have you here. Great to have you for this great game we've had so far. Right now, the Generals leading the way, 39-23 over the Knights of Southern Virginia. And Christian, you and I were talking during the break about two main things that have been in the Generals' favor so far, that being poor shooting and momentum shifts.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely been a big play here. Because just looking at the stats here, you have Grace O'Connor, who's got 12 points in the game, is shooting 5 for 6 right now. She's doing amazing. She's hot on the court right now, so it's going to be interesting to see how the Knights are going to play off of that. And then also at the same time, you have Mary Schleicher, who's got 7 rebounds in the game. Granted, that's not surprising because of her height, the height advantage she has.
Right, absolutely. The fact she's averaging about 9 rebounds a game so far. And, you know, you look at the Knights. So far this year, one of their main identities has been shooting from the outside, shooting from the perimeter. In fact, again, we've mentioned before last week against Meredith College, Addison Newman, for example, shot 6 for 7 from behind the arc. So far right now, the Knights are shooting 15.4% from the three-point line. It feels like nothing is falling for them. We're going 2 3-pointers falling, 1 for Courtney Olson, 1 for Abigail Snyder. And obviously that's built in with a lot of frustration for Southern Virginia. And I mentioned momentum shifts. It seemed like every time Southern Virginia got the ball rolling a little bit, got a couple of stops, forced a couple of turnovers, the Generals would come right back with some solid play of their own to extend their lead.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be interesting to see what the coaches have come up with for the Knights, to see if they're still going to go with what they know best, shooting those outside threes, knowing right now they're not going in, or if they're going to start trying to do the dive into the basket to see if just put more points on the board right now.
Exactly, trying to find those high-quality shots, and it's always that debate that a coach will have internally, especially if you're a team that identifies with outside shooting. Do you continue to push the issue? Do you try to just have confidence in yourself and know that eventually they'll go in? Or do you just abandon it entirely and try a totally different game style, which can totally throw you off? It just depends on the game. Pick your poison, really. Each one, there's going to be a struggle, and you have to really fight through that mentally.
I think at this moment, the Knights just need to work on getting points on the board, just being able to go there and see, just getting the basket at this moment in time.
Right, another big thing is also turnovers. Southern Virginia, when they've gotten the ball in the paint, it's been really difficult for them to maintain possession. That's similar for both teams. Both teams right now in double digits with turnovers. The Knights with 13 and Washington Lee with 12. But with that, it feels like that Washington Lee is really able to capitalize whenever they force a turnover. They did a really great job of forcing the ball down the court, getting those good layup opportunities, especially for players like, for instance, Grace O'Connor. It felt like every other possession, she was going with a fancy layup or something to get points on the board.
They right now, just points off the turnoff, Washington Lee is sitting at 15. So they're able to capitalize almost on every turnover they had so far.
Southern Virginia with the ball first. Also a jumper right there, going for more higher percentage shots, mid-range jumpers.
Full court press.
Great passing here from the Generals as Zimmerman advances it up the court. Blocked by Olsen. Taken away by Newman. Bents up to O'Bray. Up the right hand, no good. And it's going to be out of bounds on Washington and Lee.
So already we're seeing a fast pace from the Knights, making sure they get down to the court, making sure that doing a full court press, making sure that they're forcing the Generals into a hurry situation.
Absolutely trying to make it to where they have to force the issue and get uncomfortable in their offensive flow. Here's Newman. Trying to get it into Olsen. That's knocked out of bounds by Schleissner. Schleissner so far only has 2 points on the game, but like you said, coming into this half, has 7 rebounds to her name, so not scoring as effectively as she would like. And that is blocked by Preckle. That is knocked away by Savoon, out of bounds on Schleissner.
There you go. Just the Knights are coming out fast and quick. They're using their agility to their advantage. They're making the Generals mess up and fumble, and Cannot find the words right now.
I mean, it's like, you look at Sabun, she's 5'5", she's able to knock the ball away from Schleissner, who stands at 6'2". So again, you're talking about that energy and that intensity that they're trying to instill in this half. O'Bray up with the right hand with the foul, no good, but she'll go to the line.
So again, they're using their quickness to get inside and forcing those fouls and forcing those turnovers.
Absolutely, especially with the fact that Schleissner in the first half had 2 fouls. And so they're going to try to maybe force him into some foul trouble on the inside as O'Bray goes to the line. That foul was committed by number 5, Sarah Zimmerman. First free throw, no good. Again, it's one of those places where if you get the chance to go to the free throw line, especially if you're down by 14, you have to knock down as many as possible.
Yeah, take all the free points that they're willing to give you here. There we go. That was just, and that was the exact opposite. That was just nothing but net there. That was almost straight in.
And like you said, the Knights applying a full court press. Taking it back out is Schleissner. O'Connor dribbles in. Here's the jumper. That's up and in. She'll knock down those jumpers all day long because those are the jumpers you practice. The pump fake, dribble into the paint. Easy knockdown shot. Trying to kick it out to O'Bray. Newman dribbling in, trying to draw the foul. Is knocked out of bounds by the Generals.
Looking for the foul, but ends up getting the out of bounds call. So I think she'll at least take that for the time being.
Newman cuts the basket. Blocked by number 23, O'Connor.
No foul there, surprisingly.
Yeah, there was some contact there that I'm surprised didn't blow the whistle, but regardless, it stays with the Knights. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Poor pass, trying to get it into Olsen.
Yeah, turned over by the Knights on there. Again, the Knights are still keeping up with his full court press, forcing. There we go. Almost got that picked off there.
Again, just applying that pressure, trying to make the Generals just a little bit uncomfortable. O'Bray able to get her hand on it.
That's three so far for her.
Schleissner able to grab that one out of the air from Camden. Kicks it out to Malik. And there's the mid-range jumper, that's good.
Gotta love the good old pump fake.
Exactly, they're executing that to perfection. I think both teams realizing that three-point range is not necessarily any team's friend right now. And that's knocked out of Olsen's hands. Turnover for the Knights. Malik wanted the three.
Perfectly read by number 1. By
O'Bray.
O'Bray.
Knocked out her hands on the layup. A little confusion there as Camden goes to the ground. It'll be a jump ball and goes back to Washington and Lee. Coach Lynette Schroeder wanted to get a timeout before then.
Checking in for the Generals.
They're going to have the event crew come up and sweep the sled off the floor to make sure that the shoes don't slip.
Trying to wipe that up, and so McRolla checks in for Southern Virginia in place of J.D. O'Bray, who, like you pointed out, Christian, was able to really get in those passing lanes and disrupt the flow of this Generals offense.
That's going to be a travel call because she fell to the ground.
And frustrated after that play is Catherine Vandiver. I mean, she had a little bit of contact, but not to an extent where you'd call a foul, so she tripped up, landed on the floor, and of course that is a travel.
No.
That's tipped away by O'Connor.
O'Connor has just been all over the place for the Generals today.
She really has. She's been so effective both offensive and defensively. I mean, the length that she has and the reach that she has give her advantage on both sides, getting in passing lanes, able to make difficult layups.
Yeah, she's at 14 points. She's 6 for 7 right now. She has 2 steals and 3 blocks, so she's on both sides of the ball right now. Just being able to make plays for the Generals.
And that was only the 3rd made three-pointer for Southern Virginia tonight from Melissa McRolla. Here's Malik. Up with the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Olsen. trying to get it across the court, Savoon. McCullough kicks it out to Newman. Hesitates for the three. Newman doesn't hesitate that time. That three is up, no good. Rebounded by Berntson. A wild attempt at a pass. That three up and no good.
Rebound again by number 23 of the Generals.
Like you said, O'Connor just all over the place. Here's Malik. The three is up and somehow banks it in. That's Preckle.
I believe that's her first points of the game on that one.
She actually made 2 3-pointers in that first half. That is her third. She is 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. That ball taken away by Berntson.
She just throws that away and straight into the hands of good old Newman.
Knights need to play with some urgency here. Olsen for 3. Hits the back of the rim. Rebounded by Berntson. And a travel call on Pettigrove. So immediate timeout here, and so far right now Washington Lee has the lead 46-29. And the pattern is still holding up. Whenever the Knights get a little bit of momentum, a couple of baskets scored, Washington Lee is able to make a couple of plays to continue to extend their lead that they've had. It's such a hard-fought game right now with so many little things that are coming into play for these both teams.
Yeah, for certain.
And leading the way so far in scoring for both teams, you have, of course, O'Connor with 14 right now. And we talked about her as much as the day is long. Defensively, offensively, she's been all over the place. Southern Virginia Olsen still stands at the top with 10 points to her name, followed by her sister, Alyssa McRolla, with 7.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting to see what's been going on with both of these teams so far. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with after this timeout, and see what the coaches have come up with to try and to get their teams motivated and to see where the momentum shifts even more now.
Right, and I think the main thing that both Coach Lynette and Brett Schroeder are talking about is ball security. That's been the main thing that's been limiting Southern Virginia right now. Yes, you can have a poor shooting day, but you could still win if you take care of the ball. And right now, Southern Virginia really hasn't done that. They've had a couple sloppy passes. They've let the ball get knocked out of their hands. You got to have strong hands when you're bringing it into the paint and inside that three-point line, because those defenders are swarming.
Washington and Lee come out with their own full-court press.
Olsen in the paint. Off the left hand, nice move. Misses a shot, rebounded by Pettigrove.
Almost stolen away there.
I love the post move from Olsen, but just got to capitalize.
Olsen has such a clean post move. It's just a matter of just getting it to fall in.
Oh, but the crazy left-hand shot, able to make it fall, is Sophia Fiegelson. And also, plays like that haven't really been there for the Knights as well. I mean, the Generals have got a couple plays like that where a crazy shot's been thrown up and it somehow goes in. Taken away by the Generals once again. This time taken away by Pettigrove. There's an issue with the clock. I believe they need to reset the shot clock.
For the Knights, number 30, Ruth Kempler.
Yeah, resetting. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Is they're resetting the shot clock.
And substituting in for Southern Virginia's number 30, Ruth Kempler, in place of Addison Newman.
Ruth has definitely been seeing some playtime lately. It's nice to see a freshman able to show what she's got and be able to get rewarded for it, unlike most other colleges where you'll see freshmen sitting on the bench.
And she's gotten plenty of great high-quality
And that is
minutes.
going to be a 3-second turnover.
Possession goes to the Knights.
And that was a lot of that was due to Ruth playing great defense. Again, it was number 12, Pettigrove, trying to post up Kempler, and without even realizing it, she had been in the paint for 3 seconds.
33, Catherine Vandiver. Number 50, Mary Schleissner.
And Schleissner is back in for the Generals, as well as number 33, Catherine Vandiver.
It's going to be tipped out. It's going to be a push on number 14.
Number 14, Quinn McGinnis.
That's her
of
first.
the game.
One thing I really like so far that we really haven't mentioned is that the refs have called a very clean game so far. They've been able to catch a lot of things, but they've also not been blowing the whistle on every little thing. They've let them play.
It's going to be a shove on number
Mary
Schleissner.
Schleissner, her second.
Schleissner's second foul of the game.
Immediately 50 backs off as soon as Courtney gets the ball, wanting to protect herself against any further fouls.
Here's Savoon. Snyder for 3. That's good. The pass from Savoon, knocked down by Snyder. Again, Snyder, one of the 3 players to knock down a 3-pointer so far. Here's the 3. That is good from McGinnis. Again, the Knights get momentum. The Generals answer right back. It's been happening consistently all game long.
Yeah, as soon as the Knights score, the Generals are able to easily capitalize and come back with their own score.
Here's McRolla for 3. That's good.
Nothing but net on that shot.
Knights finally getting some momentum, shooting from the outside, and that is up and in for Fiegelson. Advance to Snyder. Wisely pulls it back out. Kempler goes underneath, up and in.
That reminded me of Courtney Olsen's little post that she had, little post move she has.
Indeed, and Vandiver fell right for it, and that goes up and in. Schleissner.
And that's going to be a foul on Courtney Olsen.
She's trying to protest that she had her hands straight up. That'll be her second foul, and checking in for the Knights is Addison Newman, Emma Camden, as well as Barrett Jessup. Got a couple substitutions for the Generals as well,
Mary Schleissner to the line.
including number 23, Grace O'Connor. So in a game that's been very much back and forth defensively, it's all of a sudden become a scoring affair the past couple possessions. Schleissner's free throw rattles in.
We'll see what the Knights can do on this turnaround.
Camden for 3. That's good! Oh my goodness!
There we go. There's the Knights that everyone knows and loves.
3 straight 3-pointers from Southern Virginia. It's one of those situations where if you keep hammering away, they'll fall. And then another 3-pointer from Malik. This gym is catching fire, and both teams are feeling the heat. Kempler, the jumper, off front of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Schleissner. Kick out.
Going to be a travel.
She shuffled her feet as she caught the ball.
Substitution for the Generals. Kat Pettigrove comes into the play.
Yeah, Pettigrove has really put in some solid minutes for the Generals so far in today's game, including a couple of rebounds. The Generals doing a great job locking down the perimeter. Shot clock winding down. Kempler tries to shoot it, rattles out, stays with Southern Virginia.
Gets a fresh shot clock, gives him a little bit more time to set up.
Up the right hand, no good, but fouled on the way up.
Could be number 14, McGinnis.
14.
So they'll send Newman to the free throw line.
Addie Newman.
So 37 seconds left in this third quarter. The Knights down by 19. Need to whittle in this lead and then have a phenomenal fourth quarter. That free throw is good.
And like you were saying earlier, early in this game, the Knights need to capitalize on those free throws, especially when you're down.
Second free throw is good. You're absolutely right. It's the little things that count when you're trying to whittle into a lead as significant as this. A 17-point lead now with 37 seconds left. 6 seconds between the shot and game clock.
About 5 seconds between the shot clock and the quarter clock. It's gonna be a
Wild shot there from McGinnis. Somehow able to get the foul.
25.
Foul called on number 25.
That's Alyssa
Addie
McCullough.
McCullough, her first.
Gets our first foul of the game so far. And it's one of those shots where, like, you can tell that McGinnis is just trying to throw something up
Quinn McGinnis to the line.
with very limited time, even though she had plenty of time on the shot clock.
Checking in for the Knights is going to be Miss Presley Haggie.
However, we heard from Alyssa McGrola, she came down here to the bench. She said, that's the best defense I've ever played in my life, showing frustration of the foul call. First free throw is good for McGinnis. Second free throw is good.
Substitution going to be number 34. That's Phillips for the Generals.
The senior from Wrightsville, Pennsylvania.
Generals are on a full court press here.
So there's no shot clock, but 17 seconds left in the third quarter. That is knocked out of bounds by O'Connor. Again, O'Connor using those long arms of hers to get in passing lanes. Inbound into Jessup. 10 seconds. Kick out to Camden for three. That is short, no good. Rebound. Advanced ahead by Phillips. No shot. And so that'll end the third quarter between the Generals and the Knights. Score 61-42. Christian, thanks so much for joining us for that third quarter. We're happy to have you on the Knights broadcasting team.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in this fourth quarter here. Until then, this is Christian signing off.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Chris. We'll have Rock Jives back here on the broadcast here shortly. Again, so far, a great game, but ultimately so far dominated by Washington Lee, 61-42, 19-point lead for the Knights. And Rock, welcome back. Got a nice little break there in that third quarter.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to be back. It's an exciting game.
Got a little water break, get a little wind in you, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So, Rock, I want to hear your thoughts so far. The third quarter, the Knights finally got some offense going from the three-point line. What are some things you think they can do in this fourth quarter? I mean, 19 points is a tall order in a quarter, but basketball, anything can happen.
Yeah, you know, and that's the great thing about sports is you can't ever write a script for it. You know, it's very organic. It just kind of happens how it happens. So, you know, it's very unlikely that they'll come back from a 19-point deficit in the last quarter, but it could it could still happen. Absolutely, you can never take it out of the cards. It's very real possibility. But I guess we'll just have to watch and see.
And so with that, the Knights will start off this quarter with the ball. And like you said, Rocket, 19 points is very hard to overcome, especially in the game of basketball. So basically at this point, you have to play lockdown defense. Don't commit too many fouls, take high-quality shots, and continue to knock down the outside shots you're making in that third quarter. Olsen pump fakes, dribbles in. Up with the right hand, off the glass, no good. Gets her own rebound. Goes left hand and foul on the way up. You could tell in Courtney's face in that possession, she wanted that so badly.
Foul called on number 12, Kat Pedro, her first.
Olsen to the free throw line. First free throw up and good.
See, playing like that is going to get you the 19 points you need. You know, if we look at their offensive rebounds, I believe she has the majority for her team. SVU has 11 offensive rebounds, and
Hard impact between Emma Camden and Grace O'Connor as Camden was trying to go for the pass. Great read on the pass though, but when you tackle somebody, this gonna be a whistle blow.
Yeah, you know, you do like to see the physicality, but sometimes it gets kind of crazy.
I mean, after that play, I'd almost want to see Emma Camden in a helmet and shoulder pads, see how she can do. Trying to get into paint to Olsen. Up with the left hand with Olsen, no good. Camden gets the rebound. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Up the right hand and in for Olsen with the foul.
That was a great move.
And you know, so far in this fourth quarter, the Knights have kept the ball on this side of the floor. And if you're trying to come back from a big deficit, that's the way to do it if you can keep that up. You never know. So here's Olsen for the free throw. And one free throw is good. Olsen doing a great job at knocking down those free throws. Here's O'Connor. Up with a shot at Schleissner, no good. Rebounded by Olsen, advanced to Newman. She's got numbers. And O'Connor called for the foul on the shot.
Foul called on number 23, Grace O'Connor.
Newman was in a difficult situation. She had to stop, and she nearly traveled on the stop. Had to go back up against O'Connor, which we've talked about her length throughout this game. That's a hard player to get a shot over.
Yeah, I think she was planning to pass it off and then saw that she was guarded and kind of froze up for a second, but she got the foul anyway.
First free throw is good for Newman. So the Knights 100% from the free throw line so far to start this fourth quarter. Second free throw is up and good. The Knights doing a great job of working their way back in. Generals advancing up the court. Here's the three. No good. Rebounded by Zimmerman. Now it kicks out to Zimmerman. Kicks out to Schleissner. Shot clock winding down. Malik takes the three. Is fouled by O'Bray. She'll go to the line to shoot three. That's one of the shots where you obviously want to create pressure, but you don't foul on a three-point shot like that. You don't want to give them easy points.
Absolutely.
Malik so far with 13 points in the game. First free throw, no good.
Well, we talked about how they were down by 19. That's a tall order, but 12 points is absolutely doable.
Second free throw is good for Malik. I mean, even if they don't make up the entire deficit, right, you see how they've fought back to start this quarter. Even if you end up with the L on today's game, that's something you can look back as a team and say, hey, we know how to fight through adversity. We've been there, and we know we can make things happen.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of coaches that play the game by quarters. Hey, did we win this quarter? Did we win this one? And, you know, they might have lost the first three, but that last one is still up for grabs, and I think they're definitely playing for it.
Camden up with the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Schleissner. Here's the three. Up, no good. Rebounded by O'Bray. O'Bray for three. Off the back rim, no good. Rebounded by O'Connor. Malik for three. I'm surprised that Malik's shooting that three in transition.
That's a risky move. That's a risky move, absolutely. You know, usually in those fast breaks, you just want to go up and take the easy shot.
Or in the case of the Generals, I mean, you have a significant lead, and you bring it down in transition. You want to take control or take care of the ball, try to get a high-quality shot to advance your lead.
Yeah,
but
just maintain it.
just trying to rush a three-pointer like that was really shocking to me. Olsen gets away the pass and takes it away. And that's tipped away by Schleissner from behind. Malik this time decides to pull back out. Now the Generals playing a sort of keep away. Left hand for O'Connor, no good. Rebounded by Newman. Savoon up with the right hand, no good, but gets the foul.
Some good intensity, you know, that was a good job to be able to read that lane and just draw the foul. You know, if the shot goes in, that's just a plus.
McGinnis gets her third foul of the game. Here's Savoon for the free throw. First free throw is up and in. So the Knights still perfect from the line in this fourth quarter. Second free throw is up and in. Got some substitutions for the Generals. Number 22, Anna Dorda, and number 40, Sophia Fiegelson. Knights playing some great pressure defense. There's a shot from Zimmerman, no good. Olsen not able to maintain possession of the ball after the rebound. Goes back to the Generals. Another substitution for Washington and Lee. Number 32, Olivia Berntsen. Schleissner with the right hand up, no good. Rebounded by Olsen. Fouled on the rebound. And that'll send her to the line to shoot some free throws. So now, the Knights, you're in the double bonus. So now what you can change your mindset a little bit. You can be a little bit more aggressive, driving to the paint, try to draw those fouls, and get to the free throw line, because right now you're knocking them down.
Absolutely. If we compare their stats to last quarter, at the end of last quarter, they were shooting about 57% from behind the free throw line. And now it just went up from 81% to whatever it's going to be now, I assume probably about 83%. That's a big jump.
Second free throw is good. Olsen, the clutch free throws in this quarter, brings it within 10. Here's the three. No good. Rebounded by Berntsen.
Only a 10-point deficit now.
That stays with the Generals. Right now, the Knights winning the fourth quarter 11-2.
Wow.
The Knights faithful trying to protest, saying that it was off a General's hand. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Batted away.
Some great defense.
And they're called a shooting foul on Alyssa McRolla. And that'll send Berntsen to the line, and she was just throwing that up to try to beat the shot clock.
Olivia Berntsen to the line, shooting 2.
First free throw up and no good. So again, we talked about the Knights making all the free throws in the quarter. So far, the Generals struggling in that department. Of course, as soon as I speak, they make one.
That commentator curse.
It happened again. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's a real thing. You'd think after 5 years of experience you'd learn. Got a couple substitutions for the Generals, including number 5, Zimmerman, and O'Connor. Olsen pump fakes the three. Dribbles in, no good. Fights for her own rebound, goes back up with the right hand, and in. Olsen playing like a woman possessed right now.
She has a lot of those second chance points coming on her back.
Malik, the transition three again. Rebounded by McRolla. The Knights back within single digits. Savoon up with a layup, no good. Rebound by Burnson, fought for by the Knights. Taken away by Savoon. And the paint to Camden. Up the right-handed in! You have got to be kidding me! What fight we are seeing from this Knights team right now.
Oh, they are not giving up.
And charge is called! O'Connor called for the charge. McRolla set her feet. Media timeout. You have got to be kidding me. Just from that minute and a half alone, I know I'm not going to have a voice tomorrow. Because how ridiculous those past two possessions have been. Knights forcing turnovers, getting rebounds, second chance opportunities, drawing charges. My goodness.
This quarter just gets more intense by the second. You can feel the electricity in the barn. It's getting pretty wild.
I mean, it was a 19-point game going into this fourth quarter.
Yeah, now it's a 7-point game. Anything can happen in sports.
Winning this quarter 15-3, making all your free throws so far. And again, Courtney Olson is playing like a woman possessed. Knocked down all of her free throws so far in this quarter, forced turnovers, made clutch shots, and when she's not made them, she's gotten her own rebound and gotten a second chance at it. What a quarter, folks. And we're going to talk about how rough of a game this was to start off. Nobody was making any shots. It was very scrappy, very defensive, not very exciting. I mean, it was tense. It was close. It wasn't very exciting, but now you don't want to leave this game.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is that both teams have the same amount of shots, okay, in this last quarter. Washington and Lee's 0 for 9, SVU's 3 for 9, but 9 of SVU's points have come from free throws. They are 9 for 9 in this last quarter from the free throw line.
The Knights with possession now. Camden for three. That's good! Ice in the veins. Brings it within 4. It's out of bounds. Off the Generals. Off the foot of Hannah Malik. Coming in for the Generals, number 50, Mary Schleisner, excuse me. The Knights have a chance now to bring it within 1 possession. Here's Camden for 3 again. No good. Rebounded by O'Connor. I love the call, though. I love giving it to the hot hand. Here's the 3. Knocked down by Fiegelson. It's now back to a 7-point game. The Knights need to respond once again. Inside the paint to Newman with the right hand and in. Back to it in with 5 points now.
Having trouble getting past the press.
Just under 4 minutes remaining. Here's Malik dribbling in with a floater, no good. Rebounded by Camden. Advanced to McRolla. McRolla tries to force the issue and triple team. Misses a shot when she had a wide open Camden at the 3.
Can't rush it in this situation. You gotta take your time, as tough as it may be.
I mean, the corner for Camden was wide open as O'Connor is the easy jumper and good. It's back within 7. And it's knocked out of Savoon's hand, off her foot and out of bounds. So with that, Coach Lynette Schroeder will call timeout. Because again, brought within 4, and you make a couple of plays that are ill-advised. Again, McRolla trying to force the issue against 3 defenders in the paint. I mean, most of the time, in fact, I'm pretty sure 100% of the time, no matter what quarter it is, no matter how close the game is, that's an ill-advised shot.
Yeah, I think I saw her kind of trip up a little bit. I think that may have had something to do with it. You know, she just got kind of anxious and threw the ball up, just hoping for the best, unaware that there's someone in the corner wide open. You know, but that's the thing. You really got to take your time with it. You got to be able to read the court, taking it back to fundamentals, making shots, making passes. You know, just being able to handle the ball. That's going to be a big. You know, that's going to be the difference. Is who can do that the best? Who can do that the longest? And right now, you know, obviously it's anybody's game. So we're going to see what happens.
And it was the small and simple things that the Knights had to do that got them back within single digits in the first place. And so once you're within striking distance, you can't abandon that. You have to stick with that. It's built with this momentum. You've been able to make outside shots. And now you just got to play lockdown defense with just under 3 minutes to go in this one.
And, you know, I think if I'm Southern Virginia, I'm going to keep trying to get fouled. They're 9 from 9 in this last quarter from the free throw line. Why not, you know, take more of those?
Malik with it. Schleissner. Malik with the floater. No good. Rebounded by McRolla. Advance to Olsen. Olsen goes up with the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Zimmerman. And the trip, or the foul will be called on McRolla. Ash Schleissner was trying to make her way past her. I tell you what though, despite the missed shot, I love what Olsen was trying to do. It's what she's been doing all quarter long. Been tough with the ball, trying to get in the paint for a high quality shot. Now Schleissner goes to the free throw line. First free throw, no good. Second free throw. Also no good. Brought down by O'Connor. So stays with the Generals. The jumper, no good. Rebounded by Fiegelson. Schleissner up with the right hand and in. Second chances. They got 2 offensive rebounds that kept them in that possession. Now it's back to a 9-point game. And foul on the ground will send Newman to the line. Schleissner with her 4th foul.
It's getting dangerous in the last minute or two.
Although I'm not sure that the Generals really worry about Schleissner's foul situation with just a minute and a half remaining. First free throw is good from Newman.
10 for 10.
Second free throw is good. 11 for 11 from the free throw line in the 4th quarter.
That's impressive.
Knocked away by Camden. Blocked by Schleissner. What an effort by Schleissner to get back in it and make the play. Seven-point game. Malik holding on to it. Shot clock winding down. Malik, the deep 3. No good. Rebounded by O'Connor. The Generals doing a great job at playing keep away here. Taken away by Savoon. Savoon fouled on the way up. But the Generals took way too much time off the clock. Southern Virginia has to be better at getting those stops, forcing turnovers. And you're in a position now where you basically have to foul.
Yeah, everything's got to go right.
The first missed free throw in this 4th quarter. Savoon's second attempt. No good.
There we go.
Newman takes it away. McRolla for three. Off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Schleissner. I believe they're going to call the foul on Olsen. Olsen fighting for that rebound. That gives her third foul. And coming in for her will be Ruth Kempler.
Checking in for the Knights, number 30, Ruth Kempler.
Ruth
Number
Kempler
13, Eve Schmalman.
will actually be coming in
Mary Schleissner to the line.
from Maria. And Alyssa McRolla will be subbed in, or subbed out, for Eve Schmalbeck.
Now, this could definitely be the dagger, I think.
First free throw's no good. Again, this fourth quarter's been rough free throw-wise for the Generals.
I believe they're 3 for 8, if I can remember correctly.
Second free throw is up and good. Makes it an 8-point, or excuse me,
Timeout.
yes, an
SVU.
8-point game. Got to do some mental math here. 8-point game here with just under 30 seconds remaining. Regardless of how this game ends up going, whether it be Washington Lee finishing it out and escaping after this fourth quarter, or the Knights come back from behind, what a game this has been. I mean, you cannot doubt the effort from either one of these teams and what they came here to do. I mean, you can question some, execution or ability to make shots, but you cannot question the effort from either of these teams today.
Yeah, in this last little bit, too, SVU stolen the ball a couple times. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that happen with when Washington and Lee has possession of the ball. What comes to mind to me right now is Reggie Miller's record, 8 points in 6 seconds. Anything can happen.
Olsen going up with the left hand, no good. Rebounded by O'Connor. And a timeout called by Washington and Lee. Just over 20 seconds remaining, 20.2 seconds. And it also reminds me of Tracy McGrady when he made those 4 3-pointers to beat my favorite team, the San Antonio Spurs. It still hurts a little bit, even though it's been, 20 years since then? Still not a fan of talking about it, but you know what, that comes to mind. But right now, being an 8-point game, Washington and Lee, what they have to do right now is keep the ball away from Southern Virginia, and if they get fouled, knock down free throws. It's been difficult for them, but they should be able to do that, and they should be able to escape in this one. But again, right now, in this quarter, Southern Virginia is winning it 22-11. I mean,
that's just about what we saw in the first quarter, just reverse. I think it was 23-11 in the first quarter.
You're absolutely right. And so, again, this shows you, again, this is a good Washington Lee team, a fantastic Washington Lee team. So it shows you could play with the best that is out there, as that foul immediately by Addison Newman, they're going to call it on. But it shows you that, again, one, you can play with solid teams out there, and two, obviously you don't want to be down by a big deficit, but if you do, you know we have the capability of fighting back.
Absolutely.
First free throw from Zimmerman is good, making a 9-point game. Second free throw up and good. Another timeout from Southern Virginia, 18.6 seconds left. Again, this situation, now you're down by 10. You'd have to have 3 3-pointers and a jumper in 18.5 seconds. Not the most impossible thing in the world, but
it is tough to do.
Very, very tough to do. You have to basically shoot as soon as you get it in your hands each and every time. And Washington Lee has made it very tough to shoot from the perimeter all game long. They play great perimeter defense, and it's been suffocating out there. But real quick, before the last 18.5 seconds, we want to once again thank our athletic partner, Straws Drinks and Eats, here in Buena Vista, Virginia. They sponsored this game. We had a whole gift card giveaway at halftime with some musical chairs, some really intense musical chairs that tends to be here in the arena.
Oh, yeah, that got pretty crazy.
But again, I want to thank Straws Drinks and Eats once again. Go check them out here in the Buena Vista, Virginia area. Highly recommend it. And also, you've been watching this on the Knights Broadcasting Network. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe, click the notification bell, that way you get notified every single time an athletic event for Southern Virginia goes live. And be sure to comment down in the comment section. Let us know how we're doing. What are some things we can improve? What are some things you've liked? We appreciate your support. Now, Barrett Jessup in the game for Southern Virginia. Should be inbounding it for the Knights. Camden's got to shoot it. So she gets it to Olsen in the paint, up and in.
Good move.
And they're going to foul O'Connor. So it's back with an 8.
Chris O'Connor to the line, shooting 2.
O'Connor so far has made 2 out of 3 of her free throws. First free throw up and no good. Second free throw up and in. Making a 9-point game. Savoon for 3. Off the backboard, no good. Rebounded by Jessup. And that'll be the ball game as Washington Lee escapes after losing that fourth quarter 24-14. Again, once again, if you're Southern Virginia, obviously you're disappointed you couldn't finish the comeback, but you're satisfied with how well you responded. You were down by 19 at half, or coming in the fourth quarter, excuse me, and you fought back to only lose by 9. You cut back a 10-point deficit. So that's something you emphasize in practice all week long, saying, hey, Washington Lee, they're a good team. We made them earn it. Every single moment of it, we made them earn it.
Yeah, you know, and it goes back to that thing, like each quarter is a game in itself, you know, and if we look back at the first 3, you know, SVU lost by 12, then they lost by 4, then they lost by 3. They started, you know, dwindling that gap, and then at the end, you know, they won by 10. So it's a big deal to improve that much. That's big improvement. That's big adjustments. And, you know, later in the future, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of success from that.
Absolutely. And again, what a fantastic game. I know I'm not going to have a voice tomorrow morning, but you know what? It was worth it to watch a game like that. And next time the Knights will be in action will be on December 19th. It'll be an away game against St. Norbert College in Daytona Beach, Florida. And for Washington Lee, they will face off next week against York, Pennsylvania. The Knights move on to be 4-4, 500 on the year, and the Generals move on to 6-2 on the year and continue their impressive season. And once again, I'm Dawson Wiedrich alongside my good friend Brock Giles, also had Christian Clement here in the third quarter. Thank you so much for watching today's presentation of Knights Athletics. God bless and go Knights.